Sound.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you here, George.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
George Marcello would likely be dead now if it weren't for a liver transplant. The Toronto man went for a routine checkup in 1992.
And I came away with probably what most Canadians dread the most, the news that you have a terminal disease.
His condition deteriorated until 1995 when an organ became available. So George Marcello is walking 2,000 kilometers around Ontario to raise awareness of the critical need for organ donation. Tell me, George, how are you holding up?
I feel still good. I mean, the weather's been pretty unkind to me the first month and a half. I've had real scorchers and electrical storms following me and mosquitoes from another planet.
Family-wise around the province are helping with publicity.
And it's certainly a very worthy cause, and we'd like people to be educated and know what options or choices are available to them.
There's thousands of people on the waiting list, and unfortunately many of them are going to pass away if this present situation keeps up. What we're trying to do on this walk is we're trying to plant a seed in people, a positive seed of that, transplants do work and it does save life, and thank the donor family, and to make a wish that more people waiting for transplants would get organs.
Marcello plans to walk across Canada on the same mission next year. In Owen Sound, I'm Kirk Scott reporting for News Now.
I pretty well counted my blessings before 95. I was told I was, didn't have much time left to live with my terminal liver disease. A family lost their loved one and donated the organ so another may live. I'm here because of that. And that's the motivation of why I'm doing this.
I myself have signed my donor card. I think it's wonderful what he's doing. I think it's something that's not always easy to talk about, but something that people do need to consider. It's the gift of life.
Right now, we're going to be getting national attention, and it's very much needed. Canada has been the lowest organ donating country for 14 years now. This demonstration here is a clear positive signal that Canadians are for donations, and that we will be able to save lives. Everywhere. Ottawa, North Bay, Sudbury, I started in Toronto. Yeah.
Toccato quasi 1 milione di persone.
I am so proud to be a Canadian, and to be called to do this as a duty is just I'm just so honored to do it.
Il principale problema, secondo Marcello, non sta nel numero di persone che firmano la Organ Donor Card sulla patente, ma sta nell'attuale legislazione che permette finora alle famiglie di opporsi al desiderio del defunto di donare i propri organi. Marcello nel 1992 si è visto diagnosticare un'incurabile malattia al fegato, ma è stato salvato da un provvidenziale trapianto. Da allora si batte per proporre alcune soluzioni.
We could look at things like other countries have that are enjoying success, and that's a national registry, where we can register people's wishes and have them carried out through a registry.
Questo coraggioso 43enne è deciso a fare anche di più. Nel maggio prossimo Marcello attraverserà tutto il Canada in 500 giorni per rendere tutti i canadesi più sensibili alla sua causa. Cristina Marano, CFNT News.
I'm a liver transplant recipient that's saying thanks to the donor family that donated the organ so I may live. They saved my life. And as a result of this walk, what we're addressing is the critical shortage of organ and tissue donations in Canada.
George Marcello is a liver transplant recipient, and you wouldn't be here today but by the grace of God and some really wonderful people who had this discussion at some point in their lives with their family, and you now have a new liver and a new lease on life. Congratulations. I'm really glad to see you here. You're going to be marching around Ontario, 2,000 kilometers here and there and everywhere. Why are you doing that, and what do you hope to achieve?
Well, I'm doing that to acknowledge the act that the family did to make that life-saving decision for me.
So you're saying thank you to various communities across the province?
And all the donor families that did that. I don't think there's enough acknowledgement made towards that.
There are not enough donor families either.
Exactly. So as we're going from community to community, we're really trying to bring as much awareness to each community as possible.
Let's talk about your time and short time. All of a sudden, 1992, you went for a checkup, thought you were going to walk away with a clean bill of health. You were told that you had life-threatening liver disease and you only had a few months to live. How on earth does a day start so well and end so badly, you know?
Yes, and unfortunately, I'm not the only one that probably has experienced that.
Sure. You told me before we began this interview that you were lucky enough to get on a waiting list for transplant.
Yes.
Why would you be just lucky enough to get on a transplant
Well,
list?
sometimes the nature of the disease will prohibit somebody from even being eligible for a waiting list.
So that was step one. You're on the list. How long did you wait until a liver came in?
9 months. Actually, in 1994, my doctor called me to the office and she said I got some bad news and some good news. The good news is that you're going on the waiting list. The bad news is that you won't be seeing Christmas. You only got a couple of months left to live.
So what's that like, knowing that what you're waiting for means that people have had to discuss this, and it means that a life has to be lost as well? But it's really the importance of organ donation in this discussion. You're waiting for other people to take charge of your life, in a sense.
Yes, exactly. Well, first of all, what I would strongly encourage people not to give up hope. I mean, that's the last thing, because once you start giving up hope, you're pretty well, you know, counting your odds out. So not to give up hope. And, you know, the second thing is, I guess, you know, you go through a process of slowly accepting your fate, you know, and counting your blessings, and, you know, you just kind of pray that things will work out.
Your biggest message that you want to get across to Ontarians is think about organ donation, because it can save a life. And if a person has gone, this is a way to keep that person alive, in a sense, but also keep an individual alive by donation.
Absolutely. And it's not only to think about donations, it's to discuss them with your family, your wishes, because people that have signed their donor cards, 60% of the times the family is vetoing that decision at the hospital.
We urge people, we're going into a commercial break right now, so it means, you know, 2 minutes, maybe they're sitting around having breakfast. This is the time to say it. Say to one another what your wishes are, whether it's a young person, an older person, but take that moment or two to say it, then it's done, and hopefully this makes a difference.
Yes, absolutely, and we're trying to reach as many people as possible. So far, we've reached over 100,000 people as we're going from community to community.
Glad you're alive. You're off to Hamilton now. Thanks for stopping here this morning.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. Stay with us. So you're walking 2,000 kilometers.
I've already walked